Hi everyone, my name's Sarah Barber. I'm from the Eastern Switzerland University of Applied Sciences, and in this video, which is part 2 of the WeDoWind launch videos, I'm going to give you a demonstration of how WeDoWind helps you to exploit the full value of your data. As I showed in the first video, the idea of WeDoWind is to help you stop wasting 80% of your time on data wrangling and start using 80% of your time for creating value and insights. It does this with this ecosystem blueprint here, where the green boxes are showing the 4 different communities which you can access on our platform, and the purple boxes are showing the different publishing portals. And so to actually see this, if you go to community.wedowind.ch, you'll see this screen. You can click, if you click on Explore, you can actually see quite a lot of the platform without even creating an account. So you can browse through it. If you click on Join, so you can see something like this. If you click on Join, it's quite easy to then create an account, and it's free, so there's not really much harm in doing it. And once you've done that, you can then interact, as I'm going to show now. So I'm just going to go to the screen. So here, this is the starting page. And the way this platform works is you can create a profile up here, you can chat to people up here, you can see notifications, and then we have the different communities on the left. So we have the general, and then we have the 4 communities which I've talked about here with subspaces inside them. So I'm just going to go through them. In the general space, you have this general introduction to WeDoWind here, where it kind of explains everything, explains how you can benefit and what the different communities are, quite similar to what I just said in part 1 of the video. And there's just links to the different places. It also shows you how to donate, because it's a free platform. And it also explains about the blueprint, which is the background of how WeDoWind works. If you then go to About WeDoWind, you can see various things like the mission, and then you can also access the portals. You can have a look at some of the success stories. So just as an example here, it opens a new page where you can browse some of the things we've published. If we go back to the portals, these are the purple boxes on the overview. So for example, the Open Data Portal, you'll see here, the actual portal doesn't yet exist, but we have a Zenodo community instead at the moment, and also there's various links to existing data sources. So you can go through those different portals and see. There's also a general discussion where you can discuss general topics, and then there's a template if you want to create your own working group. You'll need moderator access to do that, which you need to request with me. But as you can see, it explains quite a lot in detail what to use a template for, and how to use it. It should be self-explanatory. So then if we go to the first of the 4 communities, actually the best place to always go to is the welcome screen. And here it explains what the community does. So it's about sharing data and knowledge via WeDoWind challenges, but it's also about sharing teaching and lecture materials. And this is actually where if you were on WeDoWind previously on Relight, this is where all the challenges are. So you can see we have these different challenge spaces and lecture course spaces. It also summarizes the results of this community. So just as one example, we can go to a running challenge. If you go to the RTDT space, you can join these spaces. They're public spaces. If you've got an account, you can just join. And here, for example, there's a challenge which is running, which you can then click on, and then it explains what the challenge is. Explains the goal, the data, connects the data sets, it explains how to submit the results. And here underneath you have a load of things like the data sets, registration form, discussion, webinar recordings, and then you actually have the solutions. You can submit your solution if you've got moderator access, which you need to request. And just as an example of one of the lecture courses that we have, this was actually recorded by Professor Yu Ding, who ran a challenge on the previous WeDoWind, who's recorded a lot of his lectures here and kindly provided them for this new platform as well. And if you go to the information modeling community, which is the second green box, you'll see, okay, this community is for domain experts to collaborate with knowledge and data engineers to develop information models. And so there's a knowledge hub, which is to get started on the topic, and a place to share expertise. And then we have the OntoForge space, where we discuss development of different actual ontologies. And then we also have some working groups. So there's different domain ontology working groups, and there's also the IEA WinTask 43 T 1.2 space, which is a private space for Task 43 members. So just as an example here, if we go to this wind energy domain ontology, there's actually a working group who's trying to develop a wind energy domain ontology, and it's explaining what the goal is here. And then you can go here and see what the activities are. And the best way to get involved in a working group is just to go to the events. Okay, it's not on this one. On the other ones you'll see, and then you can sign up for the event and you can meet people and find out what's going on. The third community is the open source data and code community. And here we work on guidelines and best practice documents for publishing open source code and data. And we actually work on this portal, which doesn't fully exist yet. So there's some different spaces in this community, as you can see, including a private research data lens working group, and also an IEA WinTask 43 working group, which you can also join for free, actually. So, for example, if you go to the RDA group, you'll see we actually use this to carry out our activities and discuss, for example, data sets together. You'll see there's some documents we've been discussing. And then the final community is the data and code use community, where we develop best practice documents and open source code for data and code users. And in there we have the IEA WinTask 43 data user group. We also have an open users group about SCADA events and alarms, and we also have a space called Voices of Data and Code Users, which is actually quite interesting. Onto the wrong link there. You have to go here. And we've actually summarized various surveys we've done as part of some different webinars. So we did a survey within a webinar, we did a Mentimeter survey, and you can see all these results, and they're quite interesting. So that's an overview of how the new WeDoWind platform works. Please get in touch if you have any questions. Otherwise, just try it out and see how it works. Thanks for listening.